What's going on? As y'all can see, we got some breaking news to bring to you as we get ready for an impromptu breaking news edition of Titans and Truth. Let's get it. Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody? Good afternoon, Titan Nation. Welcome to an impromptu Titans and Truth as we have some great breaking news. This just happened. This all materialized about a couple of hours ago, right around noon today, and this is not a joke. This is not a drill. The Tennessee Titans have officially acquired and landed former All-Pro wide receiver Julio Jones from the Atlanta Falcons. This is not a drill. This is not a joke. This is not a parody. This is not a prank. This is real. The Tennessee Titans just got Julio Jones, and this is a very, very big deal. And I see a lot of us coming on here. CJ saying, I told you. Steven saying, Super Bowl, here we come. Biblical B saying, J-Rob the GOAT. And, of course, a lot of other people are going to be clowning me. Like Kadar Bobo says, time for you to eat your words. We all predicted he was coming, but you said he wasn't gonna. He said that he wasn't gonna. So, you're right. And that's going to come in just a bit. So, stay tuned. Let's see. Lee said, tighten up. Let's see. Yeah, y'all give me a second. Y'all forgive me. But yeah, Lee said tightened up. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So it's a beautiful thing. Just going to talk about it for about 30 minutes. J-Rob will be addressing the Titans media in about 30 minutes from now. He's going to be addressing the media. On Facebook, they're saying, welcome to Tennessee Titans. Rossi, who had a very good show also, saying, well, Christmas came early, which in a lot of people's eyes, it has. Santa came early. Show got that right. Feel like Christmas Day. Jeremiah, what's up with you? Yeah, DeAndre, my Blue 5 brother, second in the AFC with Julio behind Kansas City. Who could beat us if our defense is average? Yeah, it's going to be up to the defense now. So a lot of people look like they are very, very happy about this deal getting done. X Factor saying, we got Julio, Jay Porter, tighten up. Jeremy Mitchell, tighten up. You got on Facebook said Fairweather fans can shut the heck up about doubting us. A lot of people saying LFG, let's go. So I am with it. And then, somebody else on Facebook said, well, some fans talked all kinds of trash about J-Rob through the draft, and today everybody's changing their tune. Hey, I had some questions too at first. But you know what? Hey, we're in a good spot right now. Ball Out Tart says Ravens fans salty, and a lot of Ravens fans, quite a few Ravens fans are salty. That much is true. I have seen that. I got one of my frat brothers who's a good friend of mine. He's salty to death about this. He is definitely salty, and everything. So it's an incredible feeling and everything. This is great, and I love the move. And so I'm going to be showing y'all in just a bit what the compensation is. Eyes watching me. Hey, what's up, Blue? Friday here going to AFC. Hey, Blue 5, my brother. Blue 5. And Tyrod said, I'm just stoked J-Rob is willing to make moves like this, showing he committed to winning. And that's the thing. And we're going to keep going. Basically, this move is saying they're going for the jugular. They're going for it. They're going not just to win the AFC South. Because I think with the team we had before, we had a chance to win the AFC South. This move tells all of us they're trying to win the Super Bowl. They're trying to win a championship. They're trying to beat Buffalo. They're trying to beat Kansas City. They're trying to eventually beat Tampa Bay or whoever comes out of the NFC side. That's what they want. That's what they're trying to convey, is that they want to win it all. And they're basically, for the next couple of years, are going to go all in. Because here's the compensation. And this was all brought out by Ian Rappaport. He was the first to break it. He was the first to break the news, and then Diana Rossini echoed it and everything. So it is that the Tennessee Titans have traded for Julio Jones. The Falcons will get a 2022 second round pick, and they will get a 2023 fourth round pick. The Titans also, along with getting Julio Jones, will get back a 2023 sixth rounder. So basically, mainly all the Titans did was give up a second rounder. They switched day 3 picks. So instead of picking in the 4th round of 2023, they'll be picking in the 6th round. So they'll have 2 6th round picks in 2023. And so you're thinking those picks, if everything goes well, are going to be very, very late picks in the draft. So it is a lot like Christmas. It feels great. I mean, I saw Twitter and Twitter and Facebook blowing up. Some of my guys like Titan Upload was just live earlier. He went live. I was talking to my guy Lee, of course. We were talking and everything. Mr. Titan is probably going to go live tonight. Also, I believe Tennessee Titans Weekly is going live, and Two Tone Zone. Everybody's going live about this because this is such a big deal. This is such a big deal to all of us. And so, I mean, we haven't had a receiver of this magnitude since A.J. Brown or before. Corey Davis really did not do it for us, and, hated for him. But Julio Jones is loads better. Julio Jones is loads better than Corey Davis could ever be. And if you look at Julio's stats, even last year with injuries, yes, there are injuries, and yes, he's 32 years old. But in 10 years, he has not been under in 10 years, he's only fallen short of 1,000 yards 3 times. I said this on the show last week. 10 times, 10 years, has only been under 1,000 yards. Has been under 1,000 yards 3 times. Oh, yeah, give me a second. I'm sorry. I'm maybe having a guest join me for a few moments. I have a guest joining me for a few moments, so y'all stay tuned for that. And I mean, this is a big deal. And because now you got A.J. Brown on one side, you're going to have Julio Jones on the other side. So you can't double one. Oh, there we go. You can't double one without paying the penalty for the other. And we're going to bring in my guy Lee Hillis from the 615 podcast. He'll be joining now as well. Lee, good evening. Good afternoon. Wow. Let me get your thoughts right quick. How are you feeling about this move?
I feel good about it. As you were saying a little bit ago, he's way better than what we had with Corey. Yeah, he's had some injury concerns, but could it pay off in the long run? I think it could.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Again, J-Rob, no matter how this goes down, we cannot say, you know what, J-Rob didn't go for it. He's like, look, we're going for it. This is our time. I mean, you're going to have A.J. Brown on one side, Julio on the other side. If you double one, you're leaving the other one-on-one, and both can win one-on-one pretty consistently. And even if you have two good corners on your team, then you still got Josh Reynolds in the slot, and these guys can line up all over the place. All three of them can. Anthony Ferkser, and you got all these weapons that you got to stop. And oh, I'm sorry. I think I might be forgetting something. I know I'm forgetting something or somebody in particular that we got to concern ourselves with. I'm like, okay, we said AJ, we said Julio, said Ferkser, Josh Reynolds, Des Fitzpatrick if he produces. Who am I forgetting?
The king.
I can't seem to think about it. It's a certain somebody. And, of course, now we're also got another guest coming on in. My guy Ken Morris joined us as well. So it's always good to have a party. That's what this is. This is a party. Ken, welcome in, my brother, to the show. And I was just talking with Leah, telling him, you know, you got Julio, you got AJ, you got Josh, you got Anthony Ferkser. Help me out. There's somebody I'm forgetting that defense are gonna have to deal with. I'm having a Brown moment, like I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting somebody. I mean, am I crazy? Am I forgetting somebody for real?
Is it that guy right above my head? Is it that guy right above my head?
I think it's some guy that's big 250-pound guy, went to some school, University of Alabama, I believe. I think he wears the 22, and somebody said he's a king or something like that. I think that's what I've heard. He's some guy that that nobody thought would be successful I think his name is Derrick Henry, I think.
That guy right above me.
That guy, Derrick freaking Henry. So, to all the other NFL teams out there,
y'all
good
messed
luck
up.
On as AJ Brown tweeted. And he said on Instagram, he's like, pardon my language, but y'all done effed up. Y'all have effed up.
Chris, right after I got off the call with you, I got a call with somebody else, and they said this team is going to be probably the most exciting team to watch since 99-2000.
This is going to be fun to watch, without a doubt in my mind. And Ken, I'm going to get your opinion in just a minute on this. I mean, this is exciting. I mean, this is probably, again, I would say, like you said, since 99-2000 when we were making that Super Bowl run, and then we made the playoffs the following year. This is an exciting time, and there are other people on CBS. I know they were talking about CBS Sports saying this could be one of the scariest offenses in the league, probably besides Kansas City. Ken, jump on in here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I think with the three-headed monster of AJ, Julio, and Derrick Henry, it really makes up for the loss of Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith. And then when you got Ferkser at tight end as well, I mean, Ryan Tannehill is going to have a plethora of options to get the ball to. The question becomes, does the offensive coordinator utilize his pieces good enough for this team to win? There's a lot of toys. If you've been a kid on Christmas, you get a lot of toys, and sometimes you put a lot of them to the side and you only play with one. Well, if you're the offensive coordinator, you got to play with all of your toys that you've been offered and not just heavily rely on Derrick Henry.
That is very, very true. And you know what? That's what it comes down to, because we all remember before when Mike Vrabel was coming out, he kept saying, well, it's not the coach's fault. It's not on them. It's the players. It was them that wasn't playing well. So now that, you fixed some of the defense with Bud Dupree, draft Caleb Farley, you got the Nico Autry. Now you go get Julio Jones. Now the pressure is all on Shane Bowen, Mike Vrabel, and especially Todd Downing now. The pressure goes to them. They got to be able to use all these weapons correctly. They do this right. We could be a threat for many, many years to come. And so, and again, to everybody, here's the compensation for this pick. All we ended up giving up really was a 2022 second round pick. Yes, we're giving up a 2023 fourth round pick, but we're getting back a sixth rounder. So, in essence, all we gave up is a second round pick. And we still have our number one. We're still going to have a couple of pins. We'll still have, I think, maybe one or two picks in the third round, or it's going to be one or two picks in the fourth round. One of those rounds, we're going to have two picks in it. So we're still going to have we didn't have to give up a lot of draft capital. So that's something that I was very impressed with. And so the physical should be going down within the next 24 to 48 hours. And that's when everything will become official with the Tennessee Titans. But I am stoked about this. So we're going to go with Lee on this one. Let me give you I want to say, for this team, what is your ceiling? Like, what is now with Julio Jones in the fold? What is your expectation for this season? Your early season expectation. We're not going to say prediction, but we'll say at least, what do you expect this team, where do you expect them to go?
Me personally, looking at the way the schedule lays out and with the addition of Julio Jones, I'm saying probably around 13 wins this year. So 13
I can get that. 13-4. Gotcha on that one. Ken, what are you thinking? Jump on in.
Hey, man, I'm thinking 15-2 and a Super Bowl run. That's what I'm going with, bro. I'm going 15-2 and a Super Bowl run. I mean, this is the year. This is the best team that this team has had probably since 2003. I think when we lost to the Raiders in the AFC Championship game, we had a really good team in 2008 with CJ2K, which you still had Kerry Collins at quarterback, so that was still somewhat questionable. Kerry Collins had a hell of a year that year. But this year, man, I'm looking 15-2. I'm looking Super Bowl run. Bring it on, Kansas City. Bring it on, Josh Allen in Buffalo. Bring it on, Indy. You know, whoever you want to send our way, hey, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. This is the deal. J-Rob did what Chris, what you and I, and Titan Upload and everyone has been talking about for ever since the draft, ever since free agency. What is he going to do? Is this team going to be content with being a division contender, or do they want to be Super Bowl contenders? He made the deal. I'm expecting big things.
You know what, and I agree with that. And we got some people coming in. We got on Facebook saying Super Bowl. We got another one saying AFC Championship. Let's see. We got Chris Frazier in the house, says Super Bowl. Let's see. Nigel coming in 12-5. We got Titan Upload in the building, said all chips in. And he said that earlier. He was like, look, J-Rob is basically pushing all his chips to the middle of the table. He is basically saying, we going for it all. And yeah. And so I think the Titans being big winners in this, and I'm expecting at least 12. I'm going to say at least 12-5. At first I was going to say 11-6, but that was really kind of in the middle of where I was going about 12 hours ago. I would have said the ceiling would have been about 12-5. You know, the floor would be about 10-7. That was about my floor. But now with this deal, I actually got to say 12-5 is probably the floor for me. I'm gonna say 12-5 is my realistic prediction, but I could very well see 13-4. I could see 13-4, and especially, and I won't go as far as you are, Ken, on 15-2, But if this defense gets at least to the middle of the pack, at least around anywhere between 12 and maybe 16, then yeah, 13-4, 14-3, that's pretty possible if they do that. If they are at least decent and the offense is what they are, it's not too many teams that's going to be able to beat us. And right now, this sends a message not only to Kansas City, not only to Buffalo, Baltimore, and all these other teams. This is probably freaking Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Houston all the way out. They are frightened, and they should be. The Ravens, frightened, and they should be. They should be terrified. And as long as they stay healthy, a lot can be accomplished. So, Lee, jump on in here with something.
As you were talking about everybody being scared, I say everybody on our schedule, even Pittsburgh and New England, they're tucking their tails and they're running.
Well, we're going to definitely find out. We're definitely going to find out. And, and Kenneth said it, and I'm about to get to a great part in a minute because I promised I would, because I give my congratulations first to Ken Moore and Titan Upload, because there's some of the YouTubers, I know others did, but in our community, these two called it. Ken Moore and Titan Upload called it. So, Ken, I'm finna give you the floor for a few moments. I want you to take a bow for Titan on behalf of Titan Upload, because I think he would too. I'd like to give you a round of applause. Please give your comments. Take a bow, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I put this on my Twitter about 2 weeks ago, that I had a strong, good feeling that Julio Jones would be a Tennessee Titan, because when I looked at the other teams that were being mentioned, Seattle, they have two quality receivers in Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. New England, they're kind of, they're in an in-between stage right now. They just put a lot of money into Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith at the tight end position. They still don't know who their quarterback is going to be. They're not going to give up significant draft capital to get Julio Jones, because they're not a Super Bowl contender as of yet. The Baltimore Ravens, they have a lot of C to B level receivers. They don't have an A receiver yet, but I didn't think they would give up the draft capital to get a Julio Jones, because they have already invested a lot of draft capital into the receivers on their current roster. So those I saw as the primary contenders. Really, San Francisco and those other teams, any other NFC team, was not going to be a serious threat. So I thought the Titans were the perfect fit. We had a serious opening at the wide receiver position. So with all of those things being encompassed together, I thought that Tennessee would be the team to get Julio Jones. So when, Diana Rossini was saying, oh, the Titans are a long shot and Seattle is the favorite, we heard that last year with Clowney. Oh, the Saints are coming in with a last-minute offer and the Titans are a long shot. When we get this information, we know what we're talking about. We look at the Titans every single day, everybody in this YouTube community. I have the privilege of being able to get some information that some others may not, but everybody has access to getting good information. And when you see ESPN and all these people talking about, oh, the Titans are a long shot and oh, this and oh, that, it's simply because they really don't want superstars in Nashville. They want them in Seattle, in Kansas City, in New England, in Pittsburgh, because those are the teams that they want to showcase. So anytime a superstar is rumored to come to Tennessee, they're not going to get the love that some of these big markets are going to get. But as we mentioned, the Titans won out. We thought the Titans would win out, and they did win out.
Yes, they did. And I mean, that's, again, this is incredible breaking news again. For those of you who are just joining, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channels below. Julio Jones is officially a Tennessee Titan, barring the physical and any setbacks, which I don't expect any, because it's been pretty much made official. the Titans have Julio Jones now. And so this is exciting. I'm definitely happy about that. Lee, I'm going to give you a moment on the floor to talk about, because we were talking about it earlier. So give your thoughts. And then next up will be a big tribute that I have to give. As I promised, I will be giving that. So, Lee, any more thoughts that you have to
I'm on the
give?
stream.
We'll give it a second. We're
I
gonna give
heard
it a
that.
second with Lee. We'll give it a second with Lee on
Okay,
that.
I'm
But
back.
yeah. Oh, there you go. I'll just go give you the floor for a moment before I give my dedication that I promised. I said some things that I have to, hold myself accountable. So, Lee, any thoughts before I do that?
Well, of course, as Ken was saying, of course, Diana Racine was saying that Seattle was the favorite, Tennessee was a long shot. But if you went and looked at the Vegas odds, the Titans were the favorites all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
of course, I don't want to say this, but I feel like Arthur Smith sort of owed us after biting us in the rear end in the AFC wildcard game.
Absolutely. I get what you're saying on that one. I do. I get what you're saying when it comes to that. That is definitely correct. So I like that. But what I have to do, everybody, because on this show, as Lee, Ken, and others know, on this show, it's about truth. It's about, you got to hold yourself accountable. You have to, you hold yourself accountable. We come with truth. We come with, I'm not going to be, as Titan Upload said earlier, shout out to Titan Upload, by the way. He had a great show earlier. And, he said that, I'm not going to be just all the way biased. I'm going to be objective. And that's what we have to be. Yes. Do we love our team? Absolutely. But at the same time, if we see something going on, we can't just be rah, 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 everything's going to be okay. You got to tell the truth. So, all this time, I said I was cautiously optimistic, but I was also skeptical about this move. I hear all of this, and it's like, I heard all of this news, and Ken and Titan Upload and others was like, it's gonna happen. This is going to happen. It's going to happen. And me and like Mr. Titan and others was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's too good to be true. I'm not sure if I can trust all of this, but now it has happened. I did not think this was going to happen, but it did. So, in light of all of that happening, it is time for the Blue Enforcer. It's time for truth to eat his words. It's time for me to eat some crow. It's time, I have to admit, it's time for me to shut my pie hole. Because you know what? I was wrong. As you can see, I have on an 11 for A.J. Brown, but we know who else wore 11 who's coming here now. So I would like to first off make some apologies. First off, I want to apologize to Ken Moore and Titan Upload and all of those who said this was going to happen, and I was just not sure. And I think Titan Upload said it. He was like, he wanted this to happen, but he just wasn't sure if it would. And I wasn't sure if it would. So, first of all, to those two gentlemen, I am sorry. Y'all were right. I was wrong. I will eat my crow on that. So, I apologize to Ken Moore and to Titan Upload, number one. Number two, I would like to officially apologize to GM John Robinson. Because, as a lot of you knew, a lot of y'all watched my draft show. Lee was on it with P. Shark of the Let's Tighten Up podcast. Some of the draft picks that were made, I had questions about. And, when all of this went down, with Julio, I wasn't sure if I wanted to believe it or not. I didn't know if J-Rob was going to have the balls to pull this off. And you know what? He's done it again. Cojones grande. He showed it. He did it. He's going for the win. He's going for a Super Bowl. And no matter what happens, I cannot fault J-Rob for this move. I can't just say if Julio gets hurt or something like that, like, dang, we shouldn't have made that move or nothing. Yes, with Clowney, we didn't see the results that we wanted last year. But every last one of us, myself included, all were excited thinking this is a great move, bringing Clowney in. Yes, there were a lot more people skeptical of that move, but Ken Moore called that one too. He was the first. Tight Upload got it from him. He called it first that Clowney was coming, and it happened. So I will never doubt Ken Moore again, and I will not doubt J-Rob anymore. As you know, as it has always been said, and I'm going to try to see if I can create this and put it up. It's just, you know what? In J-Rob, we trust. And we just have to stick with that. We have to believe in J-Rob. You know, because he is not going to put us in, he's not going to put us in the worst position. He's going to put us in a position where we can succeed. So, yes, in J-Rob, we trust. I trust him. All of you should trust him. And just believe he's not going to put us in a bad situation. He puts us in a good situation to be successful. So, J-Rob, I apologize to you, and I apologize to the Tennessee Titans organization for not seeing the light. And last but not least, I would like to apologize to all of Titan Nation, to all of you. Yes, I should have jumped on board right then and there. When they said the Titans were the heavy favorite or were the favorites, I should have just believed off jump. And I did not. I do believe in a Super Bowl. I think a Super Bowl is on its way. And I am back in. And I will definitely make sure not to doubt them. And I remember y'all know this. When I say I'm wrong about something or y'all think I'm wrong about something, y'all know to hold me accountable. You know to hold me accountable for any mistakes that I might make, because I'm going to make them. We all do. Nobody is perfect except the Lord above. And even he had haters. So I was wrong. To all of you of Titan Nation, I am sorry. Forgive me. Hold me accountable. Let's go win this thing. Let's go win us a damn ship. Let's go win us a Super Bowl, because it is time. Ahoo, ahoo, ahoo. Let's go get it. It is our time.
Hey, Truth,
all
that's
I would
why
say
we
to
love
this,
you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I want y'all comments. Do y'all accept my apology?
Hey,
Titan
man,
Nation? Yes. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to give you big props, man. That's why we love your show. That's why you call the truth, because whether it's right, whether it's wrong, you're going to come on and you're going to give it to us when it needs to be given to. And when you got to give it up yourself, you'll give it up yourself. That's why we enjoy being on your show, my man, because you are indeed the truth.
And the truth shall set you free. So, Titan Nation, I hope y'all accept my apology. Lee, I hope you do too. Titan Nation, what is your profession? Y'all know what it is. So, Lee, I hope you accept my apology too, good sir.
Why wouldn't I?
But appreciation. And of course, with all good things, and we have a lot of great people in here giving comments. Brandon, we got Tornado Freaks, X Factor, Jameson, who's been big, and y'all help me get to 1,000. I'm almost there, y'all. We almost there. It's a celebration that's coming with that. And of course, we do have some haters on that still don't have a ring. I'm like, you gotta have haters. If you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. You're doing wrong if you don't have haters. And so J-Rob is, of course, addressing the media right now. He's doing a press conference. So I appreciate Herman saying he accept my apology. Let's Tighten Up says apology accepted. Titan Rossi, what is your profession? And he's giving it. He's like, ahoo, ahoo, ahoo. And that is exactly who we are. So James says, apology accepted. Titan says, we accepted truth, just don't let it happen again. Oh my God, this is fun. But everybody, I mean, this is just the breaking news. Titans have acquired Julio Jones. Barring a physical, he will be officially a Titan. He's probably going to be in town within the next few days. You know, and also, we have to give some thank yous. One, to Derrick Henry. They worked out together in Texas, down in Ken's neck of the woods. They were working out together. I'm pretty sure they talked about this. So, you know, they worked out together, so it ended up working out with that. So thank you to the king. Put the crown on his head to Derrick Henry. And also to a guy that should be nominated for Executive of the Year. The one and only Arthur Juan Kenobi, A.J. freaking Arthur Juan Brown. Who jersey I have on right now. This guy went to, yes, his agent.
Or as you call him, downtown AJ Brown.
You're daggone right I do. You got that right. Downtown AJ Brown.
Actually, not only should he be nominated for Executive of the Year, he should be nominated for Recruiter of the Year.
Yes, there were some tweets that people put out saying that AJ Brown should be National Recruiter of the Year, and so I saw some of that. And I know Taylor Lewan's talked about it too, so I give him some love as well. But I mean, the Titan team were definitely trying to get him here, and they, you know, all of them stepped up. So at the end of the day, we got Julio. Our offense has gotten significantly better. Significantly better. And I'm excited. A lot of games have just become a whole lot more exciting now. The Arizona game.
I do have one question, Chris. Oh, go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Question after Lee.
As me and you were talking about, Chris, that Kansas City game could get flexed.
I could see it. I could see it. That game could very well get flexed.
That game just became a whole lot more interesting.
Oh, yes. That is must see, especially if both of those teams are like undefeated or have really good records. Oh, yes. That just became a hell of a lot more interesting. And
because on Kansas City side, you have Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, you do. And it'll be an offensive showdown. It's going to be a great one. And I'm looking forward to that. Ken's going to the Sunday night game in L.A. So, you know what? He going to that game in L.A. And I thought about it too. I said, you know what? I might have to fly out there and meet you in L.A. I might actually consider.
Here's the itinerary. Friday and Saturday in Vegas. It's a 3-hour drive from Vegas to LA. Get on that highway Sunday morning. After 2 days in Vegas, drive to LA, go to the game. My cousin has a crib in Hawthorne. We can stay with her, or we can get a spot on our own. Fly back on Monday morning, bro. Monday afternoon. Let's go. That's the itinerary. The itinerary is lit. SoFi Stadium, baby. SoFi Stadium.
I might have to take you up on that. I might have to take you up on it. Yes, I might have to take you on that. But you said you had a question. But you said you had a good question for me.
I forgot what the question. Oh, you know what the question was? The question was about the tight end position. We got a 2 tight end set. We got 1 quality tight end at first. Pruitt is gone now. Yep. So what do we do at tight end number 2?
Bryce Swain.
Now Yeah, that's a great question. And yeah, and Lee, you say Jeff Swain could be an option, and that's something that somebody asked about was like, what do we do with the tight end? Depending on how these restructures
Or
come out, we may not be done. We may not be done.
or if push comes to shove, keep Pickney
We have
out
to
of
see,
Vanderbilt.
and you know, we got a lot of young tight ends. You know, we got a lot of young
Miller
tight ends like
Forstall.
Forstall and Briley. I believe it's Briley Moore from Kansas State. Forstall's from Alabama. Pinckney from Vanderbilt, who I think a lot of people are expected to at least really compete to really make this roster. And I mean that's an option, but also
Good.
the Zach Ertz possibility. Now, if
True.
Zach Ertz gets released, I don't know if the Titans will trade for Zach Ertz, but if he is released, I think the Tennessee Titans should jump all over that and get a Zach Ertz. Jump all over that with him, or you know, maybe Tyler Eifert, or I don't know if Trey. I don't know if Trey Houston. Not. What's his name?
Burton. Trey Burton.
Trey Burton.
He's still out
I
there.
don't know if he's still a free agent or if he went back to Indianapolis.
He's still in the market.
And I'm surprised. I'm surprised about that. That could be another
And
option, depending on how these restructures come out.
You could probably get Trey Burton for maybe $2 million.
You could probably get Trey Burton for not much. And that could help. But again, we have to wait until these
there's still a lot of veterans out there. Richard Sherman still out there.
Yep.
KJ Wright is still out there.
What's his name? Steven Nelson, the corner from Pittsburgh, is still out there. So, you know, Kevin, and of course, we haven't even, with all of this, we've forgotten to mention that Kevin Johnson, one of the corners that was just signed to the Titans earlier this year,
in March.
he retired. So Kevin Johnson officially retires, and so
after 6 years.
Yeah, and only after a couple of months being on the team. So, you know, I know Ken being in Houston was not a fan of him at all. And so this is a question for you, Ken. When Kevin Johnson retired, what did you think about that?
I thought that the secondary got better instantly when Kevin Johnson retired. Now, let me be clear. First and foremost, I hope that Kevin Johnson is healthy, because he's had a ton of concussions in his career. And when he was on the field in Houston, he was a decent ball player. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't great. He was kind of a C-level cornerback. He was
right there in the middle.
Right. And he was a high draft pick, but he just had so many injuries. His body was just not built for the NFL game. So that's why I didn't understand when the Titans went and signed him to begin with, because this is a guy that's been on injured reserve. People talk about Julio Jones being on injured reserve. Julio Jones has only been injured twice in his career. Kevin Johnson has been injured every single season of his career. So I'm hoping that he's going into retirement well. I hope that he's taking care of his money, and I hope but nothing for good things for him for the rest of his life going forward. But as far as a football player, it was best for him physically to get out of the game. If you want to be part of the game, go into broadcasting or try to be a coach or something like that. But yeah, the Titans secondary instantly got better when Kevin Johnson retired.
Yeah, and it was basically addition by subtraction. That's basically what this is. And so I agree with you 100% on that the Titans secondary instantly got better with him gone, to be perfectly honest. So, you know, and I'm with you with all the injuries and stuff like that. Hopefully he is healthy and things will be okay, because we have seen, you know, what CTE can do, you know, concussions and all of that. That is still a concern, and that is still something that, you know, needs to be taken care of, because we want, you know, yes, do we love the hits and all of that that's going on? Of course, we're football fans. But a lot of us in here watching today or listening have played football somewhere in their life. And you never want something like that to happen to anybody, because you don't want somebody years later to not remember who their kids are or who their family is, or forget or have like some sort of Alzheimer's or dementia or anything like that. You don't want that to happen to any of these guys. I think God, I don't think anybody would want this wished upon anybody. So hopefully he is healthy, and hopefully he's able to, be with his family and, live his life. And like you said, Ken, go into broadcasting and things like that. So that's something that I'm hoping for with him. I wish him well and hope that everything is okay. So C-Dub's in New Jersey and says getting tickets for the Titans-Jets game. That game, you got one of the top quarterbacks in the draft, and we're going to be seeing, at least three. We're probably going to be seeing at least 3 to 4 of those quarterbacks this year. Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, we're definitely going to see. By the end of the year, we may be seeing Trey Lance, and by then we may be seeing Mac Jones.
Maybe Justin Fields.
In the preseason, we're probably going to see him. So it's possible we could be seeing all 5 of the quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round at some point, whether it be preseason or regular season. And so, all
of them were taken top 15.
Yep, they were. And with this, that preseason game in Atlanta just got a lot more interesting too. Now Julio's going to be on the.
Julio's not going to play in that game, man.
Nah, he's not going to play much. But, he'll at least be there in uniform, can wave to the people and stuff like that or whatnot. They probably will do a tribute to him.
Julio.
Here's one thing. Oh, go ahead, Lee. Go ahead.
Julio, speaking of that game in Atlanta, he may play a series or two.
Yeah, because it is the first game. I think it is the first game. So they may have him play a series or two, but I'm going to probably say I will probably go about 45% that he plays in that game. And if he does, like you said, it's for a series. Ken, go ahead.
No, I was gonna. It is the first preseason game, so he may get in for a series or two, just to give the fans, a hello and a salute, and maybe get acknowledged by the crowd. So they may put him in for that. But one nugget I did want to drop. I mentioned this earlier on the Two-Tone Zone show, who was on prior to Chris. Don't be surprised. And I'll talk about this tomorrow night on my Titan the Day After show. Don't be surprised if the Titans are on Hard Knocks this year. Don't be surprised.
Oh, that would be interesting. And I got HBO Max too. I may have to tune in.
You got a lot of storylines. You got Jim Schwartz, who loves the media. He's always saying crazy stuff. You got Julio Jones now, A.J. Brown, and Derrick Henry. You got a lot of storylines materializing in Nashville.
Nico Autry, Bud Dupree.
Bud Dupree, the defense. Yes, sir.
Kevin Byard being a homegrown, basically, if J-Rob is like the prodigal son, you got to think, the junior is Kevin Byard. Is Kevin Byard being...
Here's the other thing. The Titans just signed that wrestler who's supposed to be, this big-time wrestler, didn't make the Olympics, whatever. So there's another interesting storyline right there. Because, with Hard Knocks, they always kind of go off the beaten path. They try to find a rookie or a free agent that has an interesting story. There's another one right there.
And I know some of y'all probably saw the tweet or whatever. Did y'all see this dude? I mean, I know he's a bit on the side. Y'all see this dude? He was squatting like a tree log. Like, we're not talking like regular barbells, or regular weight. This dude is like chopping wood and got a big log and is squatting with it. I'm like, shoot, a lot of football players a lot of football players have ended up becoming wrestlers. A lot of wrestlers in the WWE, in AEW and stuff now. Brock Lesnar is a perfect example. A lot of these guys
The Rock.
have some type of football background. You know, for example, like I said, Brock Lesnar tried out for the Minnesota Vikings, and I think was around some of the last cuts from Minnesota that year that he tried out. You know, Roman Reigns played, I think he played college ball. I don't know if he played in the NFL. He might have played a little bit.
The Rock.
But The Rock, of course, played at Miami, played in the U. You know, probably one of the most famous, like, wrestlers who came from football with that. And another guy, some of y'all might not be familiar with him, King Baron Corbin, played in the NFL, played for the Cardinals for a year or two, but then ended up out of the league. So it's a lot of big time wrestlers have come from football and have come from the NFL. And so now it's kind of the other way around where, you know, a wrestler is trying to get back into the NFL. We've seen this happen a little bit too, but it hasn't worked out. We'll see. It's a nice story. But again, I think right now he's a camp body to me. And we'll see what happens with that. So, but before we get out of here, we're about to get ready to call it a day. I know J-Rob is speaking to the people right now, and there's so much content that's happening right now with, you know, like I said, Titan Upload, Tennessee Titans Weekly is about to come on, Two-Tone Zone has been on, shout out to those guys, Mr. Titan's going to be on, and of course, Mr. Ken Moore is definitely going to be on tomorrow as well. So as we get you gentlemen...
And of course, I'm recording an episode tomorrow with Kayla Anderson.
That's right, you are. That's right, you are with Fox 17's Kayla.
Channel 2.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. WKRN. Yep. So I'm gonna let you gentlemen, Lee, I'm gonna let you go first. Give the people some information where they can follow you, what you got coming up, like you said with the Kayla Anderson interview on the 615 podcast.
Well, y'all can find me on Instagram at _615 podcast, on Twitter at podcast615, and on Facebook at Lee Hillis.
All right. And we're definitely looking forward to seeing that interview with Kayla Anderson. She does do a lot of work, and you know that's something we talked about. You know, a lot of us have had some good media people on the show. Of course, you know, Lee has had some great work with Jim Wyatt, and on his show he had Corey Curtis on, among others. Of course, y'all know me. I've had, you know, of course, Jim Wyatt. I've had Teron Davenport. Even the great Jarrett Stillman has been on this show as well. And I also got something coming up, definitely special. Shout out to Mr. Titan for what he did with the Ladies of Titans Twitter. That was a very cool concept, although I think he stole it from me. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking, y'all. I'm playing. Mr. Titan, that was actually a great idea by him. That was a great concept by him. Shout out to Mr. Titan on that, and shout out to those ladies for everything that they do. And so I think I'm going to have something coming up. Be on the lookout where I try to get people like Teron, like Teresa. I'm trying to see if I can get Jamel Hill. I'm trying to see if I can get Emily Proud from News 2 as well. Seeing about how they got into the business and how they got into the field. Because, you know, I think, you know, myself, Ken, Lee, you know, this is something that we do. Ken does, of course, the ESPN3 does a lot of football games, does some calls on college football games. So definitely check him out as well. And I'm going to let him on and let the people know what you can find his information. So, Ken, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Everybody, you can, if you haven't subscribed to my channel as of yet, first of all, please subscribe to Chris's channel. Let's get him to 1,000. Let's first and foremost do that. If you have not been to my channel, it's at K Moore Sports, KMOORE Sports. Also on Twitter at K Moore Sports, and on Instagram at Ken Moore Sports on Instagram. I will have a show tomorrow night, Titans the day after the Julio Jones signing. If you did not catch the Julio Eve show last week, go back and take a look at it. It was really, really fun. where we got a chance to prognosticate how the trade might look. And it kind of came up to what we talked about last week. So you can follow me on those areas. And again, shout out to Chris for having me on. And my show tomorrow night will be at 9 p.m. Central Time at K Moore Sports.
All right, and that is some great stuff right there. And everybody, yeah, I know I'm trying to get to 1,000, but also I know a lot of you follow Titan Upload, a lot of you follow Mr. Titan, Tennessee Titan Weekly. Make sure y'all follow these two gentlemen as well if you haven't already. Let's help them out as well, as they have been, they're friends of the show. We're not just guys that like doing YouTube and like doing podcasts and stuff like that. I think, and all of us can agree, I think we're more than just friends. We're family. We are a community. We are connected together. And, myself, Titan Upload, and Mr. Titan Ken, we have a group text that we talk. We talk all the time. Me and Lee talk on Facebook, and guys like NGB Talk is another. Make sure you support him as well. And Tennessee Titans Weekly, I've talked to them many times. So all these guys, we're not just doing this just to do it. We do it not only because some of us want to be in the field, but we also do this because we love our team, but we are also going to give you objective, reasonable content, and that's something that I respect with with a lot of these guys is that, even though they're fans, they're not going to beat around the bush on anything on this. If they disagree with something, then they're going to tell it. They're going to tell it. It's not going to be let's just say, for example, they cut Derrick Henry. We know that's not going to happen. But if that were to happen, somebody will be like, well, we wish it well, and the Titans are going to be okay.
No,
we're going to probably be like, are you freaking crazy?
If we were to cut Derrick Henry, we would probably win maybe 2 games.
But we know that's not going to happen. That was a joke. That was an example, basically, of how we're going to tell the truth. We're going to bring objective content.
Or another example, trade AJ Brown. That would never
Which would be dumb, and that will never happen with that. We got a Ravens fan, Justin Toohey. Congrats. I appreciate that. We will be seeing y'all very soon at some point. And and I like this comment from Philip Max before we get out of here. Two-Tone Zone, y'all big. What's up, Hulk? We got Hulk up in here. And so Philip Max says, putting this out there, Todd Downing, all eyes are on you. You've been handed the keys to a Ferrari. Don't run us into the ditch. If we're not a top 5 offense, he should be fired. And again,
exactly.
Like I said this at the beginning of the show. Mike Vrabel came out and said that it was the players' fault, not the coaches. Those coaches have no excuses now, especially Todd Downing. Vrabel, Downing, Bowen, they don't have any excuses anymore. If they don't produce, it ain't the players' fault anymore.
And, of course, speaking of Bowen, look at the pieces he has. He has Danico Autry, Big Jeff, Harold Landry, Bud Dupree, and on that front 4. And then your inside linebackers, you have Rashaan Evans and Jayon.
And this is a big year for both of those guys. It's a big year for both of them, especially Rashaan. I think all of us can confidently say that we think, barring injury, Jayon Brown is going to do pretty well. It's going to do all right.
And, of course, if Jayon has a good year, he's going to be paid big next year.
Oh, absolutely. We should lock him up.
Same thing with Rashaan.
I would lock up Jayon. I don't know if I'm locking up Rashaan yet.
But look at who you have behind Rashaan. You have David Long, who when he had to come in, he played well.
Yes, he did.
You have a rookie and you have a rookie in Monty Rice.
He's got to show it to me. He's got to show me. Yes.
And that secondary, you have Janoris Jenkins, Kevin Byard, Christian Fulton, Amani Hooker, and
Caleb Farley.
yeah,
And
which
Elijah Bolden.
and Brady Breeze.
If he makes it on the field. Brady Breeze is probably more of a special teams guy, but I like the name though. I like the name. So
Built like a
I
butterfly, sting like a bee.
yes. So I thank you guys. I thank everybody for being on. Nigel, coming in saying that hey, tighten up everybody, enjoy your Sunday. In charge Vol all day. Was basically saying Reynolds will eat. Don't forget about a healthy Darrington Evans. And that's key. They're trying to get Darrington Evans a lot more involved. That is another weapon in this arsenal because he could be a pretty good receiving back. He's got speed.
And
He could be a
of
good
course,
receiving back.
and of course, they've been working Darrington out at receiver a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes,
of
they
course,
have.
him in the backfield, Darrington could be a huge change of pace back.
I agree. And that
And then of
takes a lot.
course, Kari Blasingame.
That dude can block. I
And
like that.
Trust me, if we were to run some like fullback screens with him,
I
he
wouldn't
would
mind.
be.
I'm sorry.
If we could run some of that with Darrington or not Darrington, Kari, we would add an extra element to that offense.
Agree.
Because if you go back and look, I think it was Vanderbilt and Baylor,
Yeah.
2018, in that bowl game. I think it was the Cotton Bowl.
Right. Yeah. So I like it.
And Darrington took a screen 50, 60 yards.
Hey, that's another element.
And Blasingame, if he's gave the chance to get the ball in his hands, there's no telling what could happen.
We're definitely going to see, and it's going to be exciting. So it's definitely going to be exciting. We love talking football. We love talking Titans. It's been a great day. You're going to have a lot of content, so get used to it, everybody. But, gentlemen, I thank y'all for coming on with me. Give y'all last tightened up, and we're going to call it a day.
Yeah, that's it, man. Great show. It's been a great Sunday. We got what we wanted. We got Julio Jones, and now, we're a couple of months away from preseason games, and the regular season is right around the corner. So it should be a lot of fun and a lot of great content coming up on all of our shows.
Yes. It's time to take Nissan Stadium back. And with this move, it's going to be a pack.
In my mind, that place will be rocking this year.
And we're not saying we're other teams' fans. We're talking about us. Season tickets probably just went up if it ain't already gone. It's just went up just today, probably because of that. So,
and of course, as Kim was saying, today's been a good day.
Today is a good day indeed. So, for Lee,
in a quote from Ice Cube, today was a good day.
Exactly. And let's leave it right on that. So, for Lee of 615 Podcast, for Kim Moore at K Moore Sports, I'm your man, Blue Enforcer, Titans and Truth. Thank y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channels, to the TNT Enforcers page, at Titans_in_truth on Twitter as well. And please, y'all, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe to it. I'm almost at 1,000. Believe me when I tell you, when I find out the 1,000th person that gets on the Titans and Truth shirts I showed y'all last week, the 1,000th person to follow me is going to get that shirt. Is going to get a free shirt from me, a Titans and Truth shirt. So go follow, get on, and the 1,000th person gets a free Titans and Truth shirt. Let's make it happen. Good night, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. God bless. Tighten up.
Tighten up.